My dad was super angry a lot of the times, as I remember, always yelling at me and my brother. Me and my mom got in a pretty bad fight. I told her I was gonna go live with my dad. That's when she sat me down and told me that my dad was an addict and she was worried about me going to live with him. And me being a teenager, I just kind of brushed that off and I was like, nah, you're just telling me that so I don't go live with dad. So I went and lived with him anyway, and during those times I did find out that he was an addict, meth addict. My mom ended up dating and getting married to someone else. It was a pretty abusive relationship. He was a drunk alcoholic. I came home, my mom was in my bed reading a book saying she was gonna sleep with me and that her and her husband were fighting. And that was pretty typical, so I was like, all right. And I was just in the bathroom brushing my teeth and I heard this loud thump. So I went to check in my parents' room and my stepdad was like seizing out and foaming at the mouth and just gasping for air, and then he just wasn't gasping anymore. So I knew I saw him take his last breaths. Called 911, all the things. He ended up passing that night. And so that was just an experience, like seeing real life death. So my brother had been home visiting us. He had just gotten out of rehab. He was probably about 3 weeks clean. I went to the bathroom and I knocked on the door and there was no response, no answer. My brother was stuck in between the bathtub and the toilet, just purple, blue. He was dead, like not breathing. I don't know how long for. I've never performed CPR before, and I just remember in those moments, I had 911 on speaker, and I was in the position to give my brother a CPR, and now I know it was the Holy Ghost just take over my body, but then it was just like the weirdest feeling. And I started performing CPR like I knew what I was doing, and I just remember praying out loud for the first time in my life, and I was just sitting there on my knees praying. And just words started flowing out of my mouth. And as I'm doing CPR and the paramedics get there, as they take me off of my brother, I saw him gasp for air. And so it was like I saw a real life resurrection. And that honestly changed my life. And I know God had to show me in such a way because he showed me signs all my life and I just ignored them. And I ended up going to jail. Before I got arrested, though, in the car, I was just playing worship music and just really crying out to God. Going to jail honestly saved my life. It's caused me to, like, being on probation sucks, but it's forced me to say no when God knew I couldn't. About 6 months after I got on my knees and prayed for something bigger, this church revival came to town that I heard about. I was attending a different church at the time. And so I went and checked them out, and honestly, I just felt the fire. And being in an active church has just really turned my life around. 360 turn for sure. And just doing God's work actively has been amazing and the best thing for me. So I'm Ayla and I have been revived.